Master Kestutis Ptakauskas. In 2015, he was awarded the Platinum Prize for one of the most beautiful gardens at Landscape Architects Competition in Shanghai. After that, he was a consultant at the Shanghai Botanical Garden for 3 years. The Emperor of Japan awarded Master Kestutis with the Order of the Rising Sun Silver Rays for merits in spreading Japanese culture throughout bonsai art. Master Kestutis' personal garden consists of 2 parts: Mornin Dew Garden with a koi carp pond and dry garden, an exhibition of bonsai with a plant hospital. Here he is treating and transplanting potted plants. Mr. Ptakauskas will show and explain how the bonsai tree is properly transplanted, and then we will ask you to the Mornin Dew Garden. We have with us ficus tree bonsai, which probably got sick because it started throwing leaves. So we came to one of the best bonsai and Japanese garden masters globally, Kęstutis Ptakauskas, hoping that maybe the master would cure it. How carefully you have arranged everything. Love is needed here. Look at this. This is the material that became a work of art. How long does it take? It takes 15 years to prepare pine for the exhibition. 10-15 years minimum. And tell me, why did you twist some branches with a wire? When you get up in the morning, your hair is messy. The only way to make a hairstyle is by using proper tools. How reckless I am! That noise was barely audible. Very carefully, do not break. Do not touch the trunk. That tree is ancient, 80 years old. And I will show you an even older one, 230 years old. The trunk is so bare, without bark. There was a dead part of the trunk and I highlighted that part. Then it will turn gray. Is the spot dead? Yes, dead. Even relieved after all. I damaged the bonsai world champion. But Kestutis does not seem to have any bad feelings at all. Such damage to the bark would kill half of the tree. Each deciduous vessel feeds a branch, but limbs connect the blood vessels of conifers. And if one part dies, the feeding will still not be interrupted by the other limbs. See that tree? It is alive. And where do you find them? We do go to the mountains, you know. So they are not local. No. Every day and 3 times a day in the summer, these living works of art are bypassed, inspected and watered, not too much but not too little. Bonsai in their value is the same as a picture painted by a master's hand or a gem of the great-grandmother. The Japanese pass them on from generation to generation. The only difference can make few or sometimes one unfortunate day when you forget to water it. A seemingly minor routine offense can kill your cherished tree. Watering is one of the hardest things in the art of bonsai. And how do you water it then? The spotting soil partly tells you when to water. When the soil lightens, it is time to water. Is that all right with it now? It is all right. From this place of our report, dear gardeners, be careful, because Kestutis emphasizes that what he will do here with my tree now applies to all houseplants. Thus, according to Master Ptakauskas, the transplanting of houseplants turns into almost magical ritual. Materials that you need: bonsai tree primer akadama, small pebbles for drainage, plastic bucket for plant's root bath, wooden spatula, plant's growth stimulant, antifungal plant protection product, flower pot, mesh to cover the holes in the flower pot, forming wire. Clay? Yes, clay. And here I can see pebbles. Look, I'm not happy with this branch. Yes, we need to cut it out. You can see this branch yourself, but now we work with the roots. Once we see that the tree has taken root, we remove it. The houseplant is not a fruit tree in the garden that you prune as soon as you plant it. It takes patience to transplant and wait until it gets well. Only then can pruning and shaping start. Kęstutis was also very critical of growing plants in peat moss. According to him, the peat is only for the plant to travel to your home. Look at this! Kęstutis completely removes the soil in which the tree grew in my house. Then a bath of vitamins, then another with disinfectant. Your tree lived in extreme conditions, but it will be fine when its roots get oxygen. This stinking solution is for fungal diseases. Here's sulfur of some kind. It smells like rotten eggs. The plant so bathed will return to the pot, but again, not in any way. First, Kęstutis places a grater on the bottom of the pot so that the expensive Japanese potting soil does not spill out. He then attaches a wire mustache to the bottom of the pot. It will fasten the tree. And what about simple flowers? Do they need to be tied as well? They should be tied if transplanted in this way. Is that how we plant in peat moss too? You can use peat here, but it holds moisture. It is best to mix the peat in half with the sand. And we're talking about all flowers here. About all because flowers do not grow in swamp. The bonsai pot should be the same height as the tree trunk's diameter. But my bonsai is not the case. It is a half cascade, and the flower pot has yet to counterbalance. That's why it's narrow and tall. Kestutis nevertheless mixes peat into the soil. It will hold back the water in the day when I forget about it. And what do you think about when you plant? About a plant? We put it in the correct position, and when it has new roots, I will prune it. When you plant this way, you have not only water, the plant also has to get nutrients in these weird boxes constantly. The soil composition is as follows: mixed with equal parts of akadama, gravel, and a handful of sifted peat. Kęstutis patiently poured the mixture, carefully compacting it with a wooden tool. That tool is also from Japan. He also smashes the pot with a rubber mallet to make the ground fall even better. Let's repeat the transplant steps. Prepare a new potting soil. Remove the plant from the pot and clean its roots thoroughly with a wooden spatula. Prepare a vitamin bath to wash the root and the plant. Disinfect the roots of the plant with an antifungal agent. Shorten the roots of the plant. Place a grid on the bottom of the new or well-washed old pot. Thread a half-bent wire through the bottom of the pot to secure the plant roots to the pot. Place the plant in correct position. Carefully add the prepared soil mix. Secure the plant's position with forming wire. Water the plant. And then Kęstutis stated that we, humans, do not know how to plant trees at all because we do not understand where the front of the tree is and where the back is.
Kaip ir žmogus, kaip kiekvienas daiktas, kaip akmuo, kaip medis, visi daiktai turi priekį ir užpakalį.
Like man, like everything, like stone, a tree has a front and a back. How to find it? We have to see a trunk. And the bonsai has yet to lean slightly into the human. The tree thanks man because he gave it a second life. All beauty is in a trunk. What do you see here? You cover the trunk of the tree, and here we show the whole bend, the calligraphic line, and the arrangement of the branches. And all the tree should be visible from the front. The side where you see the trunk? Yes. It would help if you plant a tree so we could admire it from the front, and this shows where the branches separate and the trunk stands out. Here too, you see a man climbing a mountain. Did you put that stone in here yourself? Yes, yes. Will you water it now? Yes. We are bringing it now to water. By the way, Kęstutis irrigates his precious trees with cold well water. He doesn't collect rain for their needs. He also shows me that I will have to cut all the leaves to encourage the tree to grow them smaller and burst sleeping buds. However, I will have to wait a year to do it. I will cut leaves now, and it will start issuing new leaflets. And can you show me how to cut it? I will cut every single leaf like this. But I should do it in June. I'm just showing up now. These are planted in moss, yes? Yes, I take moss from the path. From the path? Yes, where the sun is. Then it is strongly resistant. Moss brought from the forest is not suitable because it does not become established. Thus, thanks to the trees, I found my spiritual peace. Look, this is the lime tree, and here's the birch. Here's an apple tree? Yes. It fruits well. The pear. The pear. It is all white when it blossoms. Here is wisteria. And their roots do not freeze in winter? No. Only the roots of houseplants are watery and they die if the tree gets cold. These roots are not damp. Now we return to the Mornin Dew Garden. Only the Emperor of Japan wasn't present in the Mornin Dew Garden. However, Kęstutis had lunch with His Majesty in Japan. What he created here is recognized by the Japanese as a great deal. How deep is this pond? 3 meters. 3 meters here? The deepest point is 3 meters. Here, I had built a dry garden. The sand depicts the sea. The rocks are islands. Here is the constellation of Cassiopeia. If viewed from above, it is a reflection of Cassiopeia at sea. It used to be a greenhouse here. And where are your cucumbers and tomatoes now? None. Why do you call it Mornin Dew Garden? Because the morning is the most beautiful, the most interesting. People are asleep, and there is a peace here. I come here alone. Only the fish make noise. I also start my day early.
Tai pajus ir šitą, kai ta žolė pasidabinus perlais, yra tai kaip žuvys, tu atėjai, pasitinka jos lipa ant tavęs, tu pamaitini. Tai va čia visiškai kitas pasaulis.